Sasquatch. Both Zerg users, both part of Team Complexity. And let's go ahead and introduce the players.
We have got Complexity's Ghost User in the top right. He will be the red Zerg, unless they actually are they obnoxious colors. Yeah, they're pink and red. They're obnoxious colors. We'll have Ghost User being the red Zerg. He'll be in the top right, going up against Complexity's Sasquatch, who will be the blue Zerg in the bottom left. We are having our players duke it out in a very interesting game, as they are both on Complexity. They are friends, they are teammates, and they have weird banter, and the winner gets pizza.
Yeah, and I mean, fighting for pizza, it's definitely very important, as everyone needs to eat, Xander. And, I mean, what do you think we'll be seeing in this game on Cloud Kingdom? Are there any kind of builds in Zerg versus Zerg that are particularly strong on this map, or any builds that you think we probably won't be seeing because they aren't very strong?
Well, considering that we had cross spawns on Metropolis, it's actually going to be a very similar situation. Because if you look at the main and the natural, it's a similar configuration. You've got a choke as the natural expansion. It's not too big, it's not too small, but it leads to a same defensive position as Metropolis.
Hmm.
So it could be very analogous to last game, and it bears the point that it's a two-person map as opposed to a three different spawn location map, which means we could have some little more cheeky play, a little more cheesy play, and not even worry about scouting anything too early on, because you're just going to be using your overlords anyway.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And in the meanwhile, we'll see pretty similar builds or just openings coming out of both of these players. Spawn pool timings exactly the same. Drone counts basically exactly the same. And, this partially just has to do with the fact that, I mean, neither of these players want to go for a hatchery too fast. Although, yeah, hatchery's going down around the same time as well.
Yeah, this is a very safe thing to do, because there are 10 pool builds that are made to destroy hatches first, which is why on two-player maps you generally don't see it. The one map that you really can see that happen a lot on, though, is Daybreak. A lot of players like to go for the 15 hatch on Daybreak, and you'll see, therefore, a lot of other players who don't want to play ZVZ go for the 10 pool.
And I'm really curious to see, if these players, just because they're all on the same team, if they have some kind of unwritten code that they're not going to go for that early Zergling, Baneling stuff. Probably not, but it would be kind of funny to see if they just said, truce, we're not going to attack each other until we have a lair tech out and, a roach warren.
There's no way they have that in this kind of a competitive situation. In practice games, they'll probably say, hey, I'm fed up with ZVZ involving Link's Banes. If you want to play ZVZ, let's do it without those. And then, yeah, sure, that's viable. But in this situation, they would say that and then do it so they can get the win that matters.
Well, then we could get some really awesome mind games going on right now. But
Yeah.
probably not actually going back and thinking about it, because I do remember Sasquatch going for that Baneling nest, that defensive Baneling nest earlier on.
Yep. Looks like someone's getting chased by the cops where you are.
Indeed. Yeah, it looks like they're after me because, I mean, these games are going to be so awesome.
Alright. You should really poke your head out there and just try and see what's going on, because I want to know. I mean, as far as things go, we've now been casting StarCraft over 4 hours, and I'm curious to see who's getting chased by the cops. But here in this game, we do have something that I'm really happy to see, because now we're seeing the really fast Evo chamber with the really fast missile attacks, which will lead to really quick, more powerful roaches in the way that I was kind of expecting would happen last game, but ended up being a little bit more delayed. While we see from Sasquatch a similar plan from the previous game, where he's going to be going for the Baneling Nest and most likely a defensive position.
Yeah, and these Zerglings from coL.User, or actually at least one Zergling, is going to get in. He's going to be able to scout out to see whether or not the drones are still on gas, and he sees, yes, they are, and I think did he actually see the Baneling Nest? Yeah, he did see the Baneling Nest, so he probably suspected as much anyways, but ooh, now we see a couple additional gas geysers going down for Sasquatch. What do you think he's planning?
Those could be extractor tricks. Um, but it looks like he's actually keeping those two. Okay, so it looks like he's going to be keeping those two, which is kind of interesting. I would actually... Maybe he's going to be going for some kind of switch into Roaches now, I think. Because I don't think he's going to be committing to a big Ling Bane attack. I just don't find that likely. coL.User is now going to go for Roaches, and that's going to get scouted by those Lings, and that's going to be, yep, there we see the blue dots around it, so we know Sasquatch clicks on it, and now he's fully aware of the fact that he cannot go for Banelings.
Yeah, and there we do see finally that roach horn going down for Sasquatch. So looks like the completely fake and completely in her head unwritten truth of no attacking each other until the roaches are out is gonna come to fruition once again. And yeah, we actually see a very fast third going down from Sasquatch.
I like this because look at coL.User. His +1 missile attack is about to complete. We look at the state of roaches for Sasquatch. His roach one is almost done, and his missile attack has just started. This is that very, very, very significant difference you get in getting an early Evo chamber and getting the missile upgrades. Because Sasquatch got an early Evo chamber and everything as well, and starting those upgrades before having roaches out and everything, and he is still behind.
Yeah, and just with all these roaches that are moving away across the map from coL.User, I mean, there's already going to be more roaches than Sasquatch would have, not to mention the fact that they have that upgrade advantage. So I'm really curious to see if Sasquatch is actually even going to be able to defend this.
Alright, well now it's going to be put to the test as we do see the aggression now coming out from coL.User. Both players have a couple links mixed in. That's going to be really good. Sasquatch is already pulling the drones. He knows he's in a little bit of rust, but he's got to keep those roaches alive. But coL.User has that roach advantage, but Sasquatch is the defender. You see there we have the drones being pulled back. The links are now coming in yet again from coL.User. These are great tanks against those roaches. Then we have the target fire coming in from coL.User, and he is doing a nice bit of damage. In fact, we may even be seeing a game number 3 happening in a shortly, but the thing is, the defenders' reinforcements, there's a couple links still involved, but coL.User's still keeping all of those roaches attacking, and this is really, really close.
Yeah, but even despite all that, we can see that Sasquatch only has 19 drones left in comparison to coL.User's 38 drones, as well as the fact that that third is going up. And there we actually see the GG coming out from Sasquatch. And a very fast game number 2. Almost, I mean, the builds were different,
Replay
but it
saved.
very much reminded me of game number 1, but just the reverse, where, one player goes ahead and just attacks with a bunch of roaches and an advantage in X area and ends up just overpowering his opponent.
Yep, that is just solid, minute timing, ZVZ differences that gives a player a victory.